Because
what a segue.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. How about this, everybody? This is Spider-Man, Tom Holland, sitting out for Doomsday. Dark Horizons writes this article. Rumors about the Avengers films crop up every day, but one that emerged in the past few days has gained a lot of traction. Scooper Daniel RPK reports that Tom Holland's Peter Parker is skipping out on Doomsday, but with good reason. They indicate his character is expected to have a huge role in Secret Wars, serving as one of the most significant characters in the film that will end the multiverse saga and lead to the new phase of the MCU. Report makes sure to note that Holland's status in Doomsday is as of now. Though the film has wrapped the main shoot, extensive rewrites and reshoots are expected earlier next year, which could impact things. This fits in with what we've seen so far, as Holland has been very busy this year filming The Odyssey, is currently filming Brand New Day, and has been out promoting his Barrow brand, leaving little time for a cameo, even a cameo appearance in Doomsday. The character has a supporting role in Avengers Infinity War, but had minimal screen time in Endgame, mostly limited to the final fight and the Tony Stark funeral scene. Okay. So I don't think that I'm going to be in the minority here. Maybe I am. I think this is great news. I think this is great news. I think this is smart news. I think this is, we have so many different people that are going to pop up in Doomsday. Let's try to bring the budget down a little. And even if if it's part of his contract, which is another reason why it would be good news, because you have his contract, he has X amount of movies that he needs to do. Well, don't waste it on this. Let's have Brand New Day be its thing. Make the audience miss him a little bit. And then when it's time, and it adds even more impact if we learn, because everybody wants to see that interaction when Peter Parker sees Dr. Doom's face and goes, wait a minute. And you don't get that in Doomsday, and you'll be anticipating. I mean, where is that moment? And that moment will be another reason to get people into the theater for Secret Wars. And I think you guys can tell me, because I don't remember, but I think in the comics, Spider-Man has a significant role in Secret Wars. Am I wrong there? I don't know. But Winston, let's start with you, man. Where do you stand with this?
I mean, I'm totally fine with it. I think you end up in a scenario similar to Infinity War and Endgame and do exactly that, where you have, I'm sure by the time it's all said and done, he will have an appearance. And I think that's enough. I don't think you need more than that. And again, similar to what we just mentioned about Infinity War, you had essentially half of the people more or less involved in that first one. And then you had them, the rest kind of in the second. Like, you didn't have Hawkeye at all really in the first one. And then you kind of got, other than no, like at all, actually, now that I think about it, Renner was not in it at all. And then you ended up with him like Ronin and all that kind of stuff to start off Endgame and whatnot. Obviously, Spider-Man's a bigger character than Hawkeye, but, with him being one of the original six, same kind of mentality. It's fine. You do not need to put every single person in the movie. You need to put every single person in the two movies. So I'm totally okay with that. And then as far as it goes, I would argue that Miles Morales has a bigger role than Peter in Secret Wars, but it also depends on what Secret Wars you're talking about. If you're talking about the OG Secret Wars, then that's where Peter gets his symbiote suit, is during that comic run. So it really just depends. I have no issues with this. I think that this is a smart move, personally.
And Chris, how do you feel about all this?
I want to tell you guys once again about strawberry.me. It's been so beneficial to me. It really is. It helps people move from just a job to fulfilling career by providing personalized coaching and a clear plan of action. It certainly was the case for me, just to hear my progression, things that I've done in my life, and hear what I could do, what I should focus on. It's been so helpful, because you want to have a job, right? Everybody wants to have a job, but what you really need, you want, is a career. It's not something that only provides income, but it's a sense of self-worth. It's a sense of accomplishment. If you feel stuck in your job and you want to level up your career, you really should check out strawberry.me. It's a coaching service. It's going to help you move up the ladder, negotiate better pay. You can land a job that you love in an industry that you're passionate about. You just take a quick quiz, and then strawberry.me is going to match you with a career coach who is best suited to help you achieve your goals. Certainly was the case for me. Sitting down, talking to someone, questions being asked, me answering in ways that I've never really thought about before. It's monumental. And you really have to take accountability for the choices and things that you've made in your life. And when you see those, it's easy for you to then say, oh, well, then I can level up by doing this. Because it's easy to put off important career moves without someone to keep you on track. And that's what strawberry.me does. Head on over to strawberry.me/Kristian to claim a special offer and get started. That's strawberry.me/Kristian. Stop selling. Start building the career you actually want. It will help you tremendously.
I'm in agreement with you guys. You know, I feel like we already have so many people. We have so many different super people coming into this film. And yeah, if we're going 2015 Secret Wars, then we have the Spider-Men, mostly Miles, having a fun little moment with a pocket burger. So this really isn't his story. You know what I mean? We have so many other folks who can pick up the mantle. And I think also people are still kind of confused about what people do or do not remember about Spider-Man. Because this is something I've seen a lot online too, is, well, no one knows who he is. Yes, they do. They know that Spider-Man exists and is a hero. They don't know who Peter Parker is. They don't know that that's his secret identity. But then, if we get a little convoluted about it, do they remember going, that guy sounds really young. That guy sounds like a kid. And do you involve him in some of these things? Is he such a small potato to the rest of the universe that he wouldn't be pulled in at this point in time? You know, there's a couple other things that could factor into that reasoning for him not being in the story. Plus, he's got his own movie happening. I think we need to see him isolated and on his own for the payoff of what everything has been set up for so far. We need to see him being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man for a while. We need to see him without, you know, his surrogate papas. We need to see him stand on his own 2 feet and see how that all feels and what kind of hero he gets to be when he doesn't have any types of support systems, including friends and family. So having him in here, I think, would dilute everything they've built up to personally.
I agree. And I also think that one of the things, I mean, we are going to get, as they say, a street level Spider-Man in this, but let's not pretend that they're also not going to have the Hulk and Punisher and everybody else in this. But I think they're going to start it with that feel where he's not relying on the Tony Stark suit and everything that Kris just talked about. And it just allows you to wait, and absence makes the heart grow fonder. You know, it's like we all, I think we all agree that Spider-Man, the movie, will be the much needed hit that Marvel needs. Like Fantastic Four was not that, Thunderbolts was not that, Captain America was not that, the Marvels was not that, Deadpool and Wolverine was. They need that again. Spider-Man can absolutely give them that. It has in the past. It will probably do it again. So if you are coming off of that and you nail it and you hit a big home run with Brand New Day, and then here comes Doomsday and you hit it out of the park again, and you don't put Spider-Man in here who's going to be riding high after another huge movie, then by the time he gets to Secret Wars and you have both 2 hits in a row, you're going to be back. You're going to be back in the winner's circle for a little bit. You got a good shot. Like they are right now, Marvel, lined up to be the contenders, to be the top dog again for, you know, for at least the next year or two, because Supergirl's got a shot to do something special, Lanterns and everything else too, but it's still building towards something. I think that they can deliver here. We shall see. I mean, in Star Wars, we don't have to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not excited for Mando and Grogu?
Excited? No. Curious to see, like, and I've made it very clear that I think that, and I've said it many times over, and I'll continue to say it, that's not the movie to judge if Star Wars is back on track again.
Which
That's
is
just
fair.
it's just not. It's made for a business decision to take a series that they were going to just shoot for $130 million and instead try to make a profit off of it and get some tickets, which I think is a very smart business decision. But it's the Starfighter is the one that is going to prove whether that brand still has some life in it.
I get it. I mean, this is Mando and Grogu is Star Wars is, you know, Deadpool and Wolverine, Guardians 3. You can't put it on the rubric of, like you said, if this is riding the ship, because it is doing its own thing and concluding something else that's already been successful on its own. apart from the rest of the hangups that have been happening. So no, I agree with you. I don't think it'll be an indicator one way or the other, but I was curious if you were excited about it. That's all. Uh-oh.
Oh
What's
no.
wrong?
Oh.
What happened?
Oh,
No,
it just froze
Yeah.
for a second.
I don't know what's happening. Either way, Spider-Man not being in this, we tend to agree. What do you guys think? Does it make sense? Not make sense? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Make sure you're checking us out on the Clips channel as well. Now, will Spider-Man have a cameo?
I wish I knew.
Who knows?